My goal with this video is just to give an update on where I am with Dreaming Spanish. So I am on level 6. My previous update on Dreaming Spanish specifically was when I hit 1,000 hours, which is a big landmark when I get onto the final level. And I'm now halfway through that level, halfway through level 6. So this video is probably meaningless unless you know about Dreaming Spanish. But just for those of you who are early on the roadmap of doing Dreaming Spanish, this is my update and how I'm feeling at this point. So I have not followed a very traditional path, but I kind of believe that not too many people do. If you follow the Dreaming Spanish thread on Reddit, there are some people who stay exclusively according to the Dreaming Spanish methodology. I've kind of all along done italki lessons, and all along I've done at least a little bit of reading on Link. So my method hasn't been exactly as spelled out in the Dreaming Spanish platform, but I am still really thankful to Dreaming Spanish and the influence that this methodology has had on my progress. I don't feel like I would have got nearly as far had I done this any other way. In fact, all my previous attempts to study languages kind of frizzled away because I just didn't feel like I was ever making any progress. So Dreaming Spanish has been a massive help to me. I'm at 1,250 hours. Well, that was a week ago, so a little bit past that. And so another 250 hours to go to finish the full roadmap. There are certain things that I feel very good about. I feel like I can understand a great deal. I feel like, surprisingly, I'm still picking up a lot of vocab. I almost feel like I'm picking up vocab faster now than what I was even 200 or 300 hours ago. So my progress has been massive in terms of understanding, and I really find that I can enjoy a lot of Spanish. I enjoy listening to fairly technical stuff, and I'm starting to have the ability to mostly understand those videos. I can watch the news now. I can watch some scientific lectures. I can watch people talk about philosophy and things like that. So I'm very pleased with where I'm at. It doesn't mean that I understand every word. There's still tons and tons of words that I don't know, or words that escape me when I'm trying to remember them. See them in videos and realize that I knew them before, but they just don't come back to me. But I'm not that focused on vocab. That is the one beauty of this methodology, is you can kind of vaguely pick up a word here and there when it's needed for some context, but to a large extent you can kind of leave the words to come on their own. Yeah, so understanding is fantastic. Speaking, I feel very confident that I can speak about anything that I want to, and depending on how correct I'm trying to be, I need to adapt my speech. I am still struggling a lot with grammar. I tend to forget a lot of the things. I have learnt some grammar, although I didn't do the grammar study on my own. I've entirely left my grammar study to my italki teacher. I do some review of the content that we talk about in italki, but I do kind of learn a little bit of grammar. As I go along, I plan to do more and more, because I'd like to be correct. And as much as I believe that you can pick up the grammar entirely from comprehensible input, I kind of like studying grammar, I like getting things right. So that's where that's at. I feel like every time I talk, I'm mixing up tenses, I'm forgetting how the past tense conjugations work and all those things. But I'm also finding that I can autocorrect much more easily. And if I'm talking to somebody where I can just forget about grammar entirely, I can usually get my point across. They might be a bit confused as to which tense I'm talking about, but I kind of know the words and I can find a way to explain almost anything that I want to talk about. So, having an hour-long conversation about basic things is totally possible, even though it's messy. Yeah, with 250 hours to go, I don't feel like I'll be perfect in Spanish at the 1,500 hour mark. That would be silly. I see this as a long journey still ahead. But like many people who reach this level, I feel extremely excited about where I am in Spanish. It's certainly been something that's added a lot of value to my life. I'm enjoying meeting people from Argentina and chatting to them online. At least I haven't had the chance to meet somebody and speak Spanish in person yet, but hopefully one of these days. But the people that I speak to online, it's becoming really enjoyable. For now, most of my talking has been with my italki teacher, as well as a variety of other italki teachers here and there. I've done lessons with about 20 different teachers, but I've done 200 and something lessons with one single teacher. So I've spoken to different people. I have got some language partners, although that's mostly texting, but I certainly plan to speak to them more, and hope in the next year or so my speaking will improve a great deal. It's certainly where I want to focus. I feel like understanding the language comes with Dreaming Spanish. Like if you do the Dreaming Spanish thing without doing anything else, there's no doubt in my mind that you can understand pretty much any Spanish that you want to through the course of it. Speaking, like with as many people say, is the more challenging part. But once you can understand everything around you, it makes speaking much more enjoyable. You can understand the context that's around you, and so your speaking actually has some meaning. When you're just speaking without understanding what other people around you are saying, I feel like you'd be far more lost, even if you spoke well but you didn't understand well. So I do believe the methodology of prioritizing understanding first before speaking is the right way around. And yeah, so I'm very happy with my progress. This is just a simple update because it's not a major landmark, but halfway on level 7 on Dreaming Spanish. If you're following Dreaming Spanish, I'd love to know where you are and how you're feeling about your progress. Thank you for watching the video.